Hey, I'm driving home from the active shooter training. That shit was badass. If you've never been in an active shooter training in your state, I freaking recommend it. It is badass. We had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. We learned anything from packing the wood, what to do during certain situations in school, all the way to actually acting out active shooter, with actors and everything. Guarantee you will have a lot of fun. Me and my partner, we had a lot of fun. I was able to call out a couple of times, where the shooter comes out of nowhere, and then alert everybody, make sure that they're taking care of business and taking care of the wounded people. We worked with the firefighters today, and they learned a lot too. So now I understand, some of the things that they do that before I didn't understand. But now I'm grasping what was their mentality going through an active shooter, and now they know also what we're going through. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I am tired. I have to work tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. So just like some of you, you have to work overnight or early in the morning. These are my 3 takeaways from this training. Number 1, communication. Learn how to communicate and when not to communicate, depending on what's going on. During an active shooter situation, it's going to be over, the average is over 300 officers that will respond to the school or to the area where the active shooter happened. That's not including EMS, firefighters, first responders. So communication, remember, communicate everything you're doing, but be careful what you do on the radio, because you don't want to cluster the radio. Remember, there's already going to be a lot of talking on the radio, so just try not to overdo it, okay? Number 2, learn to control yourself. Learn to slow down, and you need to learn what's going to happen in an active shooter. I understand that you cannot predict everything, but one certain thing that will happen is you might get shot. You need to learn to control your slow down, your heart rate, and start thinking on what to do. If I got shot in the arm, in the leg, what is the first thing I need to do is get out of the X, go to a safe room, and start getting a tourniquet in the leg, in the arm, start calling out your location, start calling out how many suspects you saw, anything like that. So slow down and think. Finally, number 3 will be learning to work with other agencies and working with fire department, EMS. Remember, they have different objectives. Some of these firefighters and some of the officers never taken active shooter training, so you might know a little bit more. So start communicating. Again, everything goes back to communication. Communicate what's the plan, and if you know a little bit more, then create that environment where you're gonna be the leader, right? So if you know what you're doing, then start creating that environment again to become a leader and start leading a team. There's a lot of factors that go into an active shooter. However, there's going to be a lot of things that you can control. So learn a lot about active shooter. Don't forget, the less you train, the less you'll know. And the less you'll know, people could die. So please be careful out there and watch your 6.